Well, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yashai Bashim Krokodish. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutations to you. Like Akim doing this work throughout the four corners of the earth, doing it in truth and sincerity, waking up the hopefully elect so they can be sealed so we can get out of America and get up to the kingdom of heaven, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. This is inspired by a radio station I was listening to a couple minutes ago, a little while ago, and it was basically breaking down on the point of what happened 4 or 5 years ago with the whole Michael Brown situation that happened in Ferguson, Missouri, and they were explaining like about different people who protested, and the people who are on the forefront and who are basically the faces of the protests that that erupted after the killing of Michael Brown. You know, pretty much everybody knows what happened. Michael Brown was killed by uh, uh, this devil, and devil Darren Wilson. Because I remember it, watching it on the news and following it very closely. Basically, they were saying, is it a conspiracy that all the figureheads and the people who were protesting come up dead years down after the protest? Is it a conspiracy? Was it to go after them on purpose to kill them before speaking out? Because that had a great amount of attention, the Michael Brown situation. And just my perspective, yes, I can fathom that. I can come to terms with there actually people out to harm individuals who are um, speaking out against the corruption of the police department, the government, and all of that. Yes, because we know who we're dealing with, Esau. So it's not far fetched to think that. And a couple of them were sold out, which means Esau, so-called white man, gave that person money or benefits to join to be basically an agent and to portray that they're with the protester, but really they're not. And it came out that is to be true. And I just want to say, man, you have to be naive and very not cognizant to think that there's actually people that are against you in the society. You really have to be naive and pretty and not wise to think that people are actually against you and for your harm. You have to understand that, okay, and to actually realize that is the case. In Michael Brown's situation, me myself, I think that was pretty much orchestrated, meaning it was a false flag, which it was a created event. Those happen, which are typically called conspiracies, which conspiracies are real. Okay, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Okay, they basically conspired against so-called the Negroes to get them from the west coast of Africa. Okay, why is that? At first it was in the spirit; it was supposed to happen, but it's for to build this place up. displace America. Uh, that's where they get their finances from. That's how it's built structurally. Different inventions off of our backs, but nonetheless, this is the just conspiracy. It says a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. So that word itself has a dark cloud over it, conspiracy, because you think of someone that says when the average person isn't the sparks don't plug. They don't think right. Well, they just think, oh, you 9/11, you know, a person is a 9/11 denier. He's a conspiracy theorist or whatever the case may be. But there's actually conspiracies that go on, and they basically, another definition of it, the action of plotting or conspiring. Yeah, conspiring, man. That's a verb. Collusion, in intrigue, convene, con. I can't even pronounce that word. Machination, collaboration, treason. Okay, plotting. They plotted to get us from the the west coasts of Africa. Okay, they did that. They gathered together to do so. They put thought into it. Transatlantic slave trade, and basically, I'm gonna get the scripture too, because basically, um, they were saying, is it a conspiracy that the Negroes that came up dead, shot in cars and burnt and committed suicide and overdoses and things of that nature? How come that's happening years down the line? Is it just a coincidence? It's not. Okay, Edom, he shuts people up. He gets them gone. He does it. Now, can I show you on paper where he says where the government killed this person because they didn't want the evidence? No. But you have to have a cognitive mind. Okay? And there's actually events that the government will tell you they did that on purpose. But they portrayed it to be something else. They plotted, they colluded. Yeah, kind of, because they even the rapper, uh, a rapper but when they were protesting, it's basically saying Obama forsaking us, which he did. Okay, Barack Obama didn't do anything beneficial to the Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay. And this, I'm gonna just read the scripture real quick. Psalms, Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. So Esau, Edom, so-called white man, hates us. He hates us as a people, as a nation. So you always have to have that in the back of your mind, or the forefront of your mind, that they hate us. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So yeah, man, they have taken crafty counsel. That's synonymous with conspiracy. Everything that they're doing and that have done and doing, they conspired, they gathered together, they colluded to do so. Otherwise, how can you explain child support? How can you explain taking the fathers out of the homes? How can you explain promoting homosexual and lesbianism in our nation? They had to sit there and think about it and make a plan, because it wouldn't happen on a wide scale if not. Every aspect in and unlawful things and immoral things that go on as a nation. Hey, Michael Brown, he's a product of the projects. So-called white man created the projects. So there you have it. Crabs in the bucket. You can thank the so-called white man for that. Although I'm not justifying Michael Brown's actions, but let the so-called white man tell you that he deserved it and he'll do it again. And he was a criminal, a murderer. He was all of these bad things. But he gives his people a pass on things. But us, they don't, because why? They hate us. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. So they colluded. Hey, doesn't the so-called white man didn't they say Donald Trump and Russia colluded together to win the election? Isn't that a conspiracy? So this is a hypocritical nation, and the Ferguson effect, or whatever they call it. That's the age of our people. Really, a lot of them woke up to their Israelites. A lot of them basically woke up to how Esau runs his system, and actually the wokeism. That's really when that started. Then you had the Black Lives Matter, which really is a lesbian ran group, but nonetheless, so yeah. And why are these people, these protesters, still getting hate mail and death threats and things of that nature by Esau over one so-called black man that died, and Darren Wilson who got rich? What is there to be mad about for telling the truth? That's just hatred, okay? It's spiritual. Psalm 64 and 2. Start at 1. Hear my voice, O God, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. The enemy are the so-called white man, the other nations. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So King David had enemies, and they had a secret council, maybe of his own people. When a people or a group of people doesn't like an individual, they get together and talk about them, of what they can do to harm them or to get them caught up. It's just natural. So King David was saying, hide me from that secret council, whether it be Edomites or his own people. Hey, they did that to our Lord Yahushua. So conspiracy actually do exist. A conspiracy there's tons of conspiracies, you see, and really you have to be a very person who thinks outside of the box, and basically a truth, or a logical truth person. You deal with truth and logic, and you live in reality. That's the reality. Our people get so lost in glorifying that they live in the hood, that they come from nothing, and they fighting for their people, that it's more to that. It's more, St. Louis or Chicago. We walk outside, you gotta fear for your life. Yeah, we understand that, and there's ways to get out of that, so to speak. But why am I saying that? Because Jake doesn't know that is way bigger than just the street and the city you live in. Okay, you're a nation of people, of kings and priests, but our people don't have faith, and they don't think on that level. They just think of their what's really around them. They don't operate on a higher level. And it says, what happened in Ferguson, real quick. Michael Brown, an unarmed black teenager, was shot and killed on August 9th, 2014. Darren Wilson, police officer, Ferguson, Missouri, a suburb of St. Louis. The shooting prompts protests royal, roiled the area for weeks. Yeah, it went on for weeks, almost, I think, a year or two. Okay. And it says demonstrators commemorating the killing of Michael Brown 1 year ago ended Sunday night. This is a old article, but people know how basically it looked like martial law outside, or looting, okay, different fights and fires and things of that nature went down. So that was a big eye opener for people. People actually feared, not believe it or not. Okay, but that's that, man. And here's a good question: why do you think the parents or family got received money for that? Why would they receive money? Maybe to be quiet, hush money. Our people focus on the wrong things, man. You have to really dig deep and understand that once you reach a level in society, you're going to get approached, and you're going to have these different opportunities to be basically away from your power, man. Energies and spirits, so-called white man, to take you away from the Lord and to join things such as Freemasonry, sorority, these different little 5%er groups, Muslims, things that don't benefit you as a people, and things that the Lord hates. Okay. And things that typically, man, ultimately, uh, 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 you know, a lot of times these different events are really, to experiment on the people, and in his little games that so-called white man likes to play. He rules the world, of course, and you have to come to grips with that. This is his world, Satan's world right now. This isn't heaven. This isn't the kingdom of heaven. This ain't the good life. This is Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, and in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So, hey, so-called white man, woman, they have a perpetual hatred. Their hatred doesn't stop. So that's why you see every so-called white man has a stance where, well, he did rob a liquor store for Swisher, so he had to die, which is definitely not equal to, we equal up. He was a thug. He was a gangster, which, yeah, he might have sold weed or smoked weed and things like that, okay, which our people aren't supposed to be doing. But in this system, aren't you just supposed to get jail time? Aren't you just supposed to be tasered and arrested, not shot dead and left there? Okay. And then back the person who did it with monetary funds and with sponsorships and all that thing. Okay. That's not equal. But they lie to you and tell you that we're all equal. They don't judge by skin color, which is a damn lie, man. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Trust or Slakia, jumping the gun. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So as for sure you know that iron will rust when it's set out, and over time, so-called white man is your enemy, and he will be wicked. So just like you know that the iron's going to get rusty, Esau's going to be wicked. Because he's the wicked. He's the border of wickedness. Now, am I justifying Jake out here who acting buck wild and things of that nature? No. No, I'm not. But you have to understand that Esau's running a big experiment, and we're still in the hands of we're still under slavery. Okay, that's real. That's real reality. And he will, if you're in the way, he will get rid of you. This is his kingdom. He knows what to do. He has them. Hey, they do that to. Don't they do that to the men of the Lord? Don't they track us and things of that nature? Spy on us and follow us around. You might not know. Get a hold of our information. They do. So they did that to the Black Panthers. So of course, man, it's a conspiracy. They're conspiring. They even have that conspiracy in I believe in the law system, or the court system. You see. Well, real quick, I just wanted, Lord willing, hey, I just wanted to do a video on that, man. It's on my spirit. All praises. Lord willing is edifying. All praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Chakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at GMS, Ruhuel. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect Akim, doing this work in truth and honor and sincerity. Shalom.